Hey everybody, Scott Oden coming at you here. We're here on the E6 Flight Scope Mevo Plus. These are some of the practice areas that you start going over. So I want to go over those parts of this and then talk a little bit about a drill at the end that we love to do using this E6 practice range. I've used that software for a long time, and this is one that I've always found gets some good results. All right, so let's start talking about the short game areas. So we are on the just regular chip and putt area. I'll go over a couple more of them here that I like. I like that they've added in some different ranges, and for some different reasons. I'll explain those. But one thing I wanted to talk about with the Mevo Plus so far that I love is when you use the unit, and I taught with X2, Flight Scope X2, and I had TrackMan 3E and 3, that had two of those, and you would use the simulation side. Those units weren't designed to have simulation, so they were more for just hitting balls and getting your numbers and stuff, but they came out with the simulation side, and you would try those out, and one thing that would happen on those, because those units would look more up, chipping and your short game shots were really, really tough. Okay, so one of the things that I love about this unit is if I'm just gonna hit a basic chip, so like we've got a chip shot here on our short game area, and I'm able to just move the ball wherever I want. It's just a green, I can put it literally anywhere. I can put it on the green and just switch to putting. But what I love is if I hit a chip shot, I'm gonna hit one just pretty standard, pretty low, and you can see it has no issues picking that up. What would happen before in the old units is you had to learn how to hit just some massive short flops. I mean, you had to get the ball to get up at least that high, and that's not something you would do on a shot of this length normally. You know, normally we'd want to keep it on the ground a little bit more, let it run out. And that shot really wasn't possible. So that's exciting to see as we're practicing as a coach. You know, we're trying to get better at shot decision making. Well, when you have all the shots available to you, that's huge. I mean, sometimes we'd have to say, oh, okay, hey, you would normally do this, but in here, you're gonna have to hit it higher just because of the way the machine's reading. That's not my favorite thing to have to do. And they've taken that out with the Mevo Plus, which is awesome. So that's the first thing I love. Now, when we start getting into the short game area, you can see very simple. I just can click anywhere and start moving around, or I can click this little icon and I can move anywhere. I can move anywhere, get to a different part of the green. I can get moving off the green. I can get in the rough, you know, try some stuff. What I also love is they've got little obstacles out here, and I'll show you a little bit more with that. But I can put stuff in the way. You know, because that happens where I have people hit chip shots and stuff, and they'll think, okay, hey, if we're doing a test, let's say, like kind of like the skills app, but we're doing it on short game here. You know, it's like, hey, just hit 10 shots, see how close you get. Well, you know, that sometimes might be like a bladed one that rolls up there, all that. I can take that out by just putting this boulder in the way and making sure you have to go over it, or else you're gonna run into issues. You're not gonna be able to have anything good happen. So I love that as a challenge standpoint too. I love that you can also move the flag around the green. I mean, you can set up any combination that you want with your device. I think it works out really, really good. So that's the short game area. Now, a little pro tip is, again, if you're hitting shots, when I've been playing, you'll see this on the on course. If you're playing, I highly recommend that you hit lower shots. Chipping on this, keep the ball down, get that ball on the ground. You're gonna have better scoring when we do our chip shots when you play. Now, let's go into some of the other ones that you got. So when we're moving out of this, I love that when we have to get out of this, you just kind of click exit round, and you don't have to go all the way back out. You can just hit new course, and it's gonna bring you to some of the other options that you got. So, you know, we've got a 15-yard bunker shot, a 32-yard bunker shot, 25-yard boulder shot, log pile shot, 30 yards. Again, they preset some of these in there for you. You've got a 70-yard tree shot. You've got shots where you can start practicing going under stuff. All these things I think are really, really cool. They're trying to bring that, hey, you're gonna be on course. We do this a lot in our coaching. We just go move to random areas and say, all right, get out of here. They put that into the simulator. So let's try the, and then you got just your basic shots, by the way. You've got 40, 60, 80, 90, That's the highest you go, up to a 90 yards, and you can just hit shots to the green like normal. They have that. Again, I love that because we do a lot of that standardized yardage shots. So with the one click, I can be at that yardage. I don't have to go find it. So that's awesome. But 50-yard log shot, let's try it. Actually, you know what? I want to try the tree shot. Let's see what we got. Okay, so we'll load it up. Let's see what we can do. All right, so we've got our tree shot here. So you can see this one's not gonna be too bad. It's leaning. If I were to change this though, and let's move the pin, because based on where that pin is, you know, that's actually not too hard of a shot, but let's move the pin. Now we're more behind that tree. There we go. I love training like this. Now I've got to hit some sort of kind of hooking wedge, 70 yards, and see if I can get this thing on the green. Didn't hook it enough, but had the yardage pretty good. So I think it's so good if you can set up some things that, hey, this is what you should be able to get out of. Hey, I want to practice some situations. The best part of this too is it's course-like. You're going to work on getting around certain objects. You're going to work on seeing things, and you might have a better chance of translating this idea to the golf course as opposed to just seeing a table of numbers and just saying, hey, oh, I hit a push draw there. Okay, well, what did that look like? How did that work in that environment? That's one of the things. They're bridging the gap from getting to the range to the course, which I think is huge. All right, so let's talk drills now. What do we do and how do I use this software to help people shoot lower scores? So one of the keys to shooting lower scores, you have to get up and down more. And you know, you think about it, pros, the average for a pro hitting a green in reg, they're around 12 to 13 greens in regulation per round. So, you know, having this expectation that you're never gonna have to get up and down isn't realistic, because even the best in the world can't pull that off. So you're gonna have to think about, all right, what's the stuff that I need to do to shoot lower scores? Well, getting up and down has to happen once in a while. And if you can do it even up to like half the time, you would be in really good shape. And the way you're gonna do that is by handling these super basic chips. The basic shots, these need to be like layups, okay? So what I have here is a 51-foot chip. So it's only about 16, 17 yards, not very long. And we are looking at just an uphill grade. We're in the rough, you know, so as basic as it gets. What we do is we hit a series of 10 shots, okay? And we count how many inside of 5 feet can you get. Now, why is it 5 feet? Because that's kind of the range. 4 foot is when you start getting outside of 4 to 5 feet, your number of making that putt, that percentage goes way down. So if you really want to get up and down consistently, you have to get your chips closer so you can make that putt. So we work a ton on just recording how many from this distance can we get up and down. So you can see the chip rolls up. So it's got to get within 5. So I hit that to 8, wouldn't count. So I do a 10-ball set. I'm going to count how many you get. Once you have that number, it doesn't matter. It could be 0, it could be 1. Then you just do it again and you try to get your personal best. That's a huge thing. We take that from Olympic trainers. They just go for personal best. People that compete in the Olympics, they never have a goal in mind per se. They just set the bar of what they can do and they constantly try to beat it. That's how they get in the process. And then one day, they're there. You know, they might say in the back of their mind, yeah, I want to do this or that, but that's not what they're really trying to train on every single day. So let's see if we can hit one a little further. Again, I love that you can hit a little bit of the lower shots. That one a little deep. Okay, and then we just keep going and going and going. So that's a great one to do, just basic short game. Try to dial your shots in. When you go outside, you're gonna have a great mentality for getting up and down from these spots. I guarantee you'll shoot lower scores if you do that. So thanks everybody for watching. Hopefully this helps you see some of the practice areas. We're gonna go over the range setups this week too. A couple of those I really love. And hopefully this helps you understand what you can get out of your E6 Mevo Plus as you're working on your game. Thanks everybody for watching. Click that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already, and we'll see you in the next video.